What's up? There we
Hey
go.
guys, we are live. I'm Jeff with eBay Addicts, and today I have a returning guest with me here. I got David Palea. Is that I always mispronounce your last name for some reason? That's how you say it, right?
Yeah, it's Paleo. Paleo.
Palea. Okay, I keep
Yeah.
saying Palea. So anyway, anyways, bro, go ahead real quickly, introduce yourself to our audience in case people don't know who you are. Tell everybody who you are, where you're from, and tell them what it is that you do.
Yeah, so my name is Dave Paleo. I'm from California, Central California, and I do eBay. Have about 13,000 items listed, and been doing it for about like 2 years. And started messing with YouTube recently.
Yeah. All right. So how's everything been going for you with eBay? Because you know how people say the eBay summer slowdown, and it's like one
Yeah.
month everything is good, and the next month things go down. Have things been running consistently for you, or what's been happening?
Yeah, basically, I enjoyed my summer a lot and had a lot of fun. And the sales went down because I was chilling. But people that say that it just slows down in the summer, it probably does. But if you work a little harder than normal, you won't see much of
Yeah.
a change. It's really all on
All right.
yourself.
So real quickly, tell people because I don't want to lose our audience. So real quickly, tell the people how much money do you usually make in sales on eBay in an average month? I want them to know what
Um,
kind of work you're putting in.
Lowest 25K, highest 45, and
And
it fluctuates. Yeah.
And so at least every month, if you guys do the math, let's say there's 25 grand in a month in sales times 12 months in a year. That's what, 300K a year. And even if only half of that's profit, you're still doing probably between 150 to 200 grand, right? Somewhere in that range,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Somewhere up. Yeah.
Yeah.
Give or
And so
take.
I was watching some of your videos, man, and I saw one of your recent videos that said you fired your employees. So tell us a story behind
Yeah.
that because that sounds like something that I would do. But go ahead, tell people what's been going on in your world lately.
I didn't really fire him. It was my mom and my sister, but I was just kind of like not working as hard as I should have had, and I wasn't holding myself accountable. And I was relying on the employees like almost for 80% of everything to be done, and I
Yeah.
just felt kind of guilty. So I just told them it's not working right now, and I just been the last month I just been working all by myself and not really torturing myself, but just making myself work. Maybe I don't know how to be a good boss where I keep working the same amount and they help me. So I don't know. I just saw that within myself that I was letting them do a lot of the stuff and I was just having my feet up. So I just told
Yeah.
myself I'm gonna do it for myself for a little bit. So
Yeah, and so if you guys don't know, David has a big warehouse. How big is your warehouse, the one that you moved into now?
2,700 square feet.
Yeah, and you said you got about 13,000 items listed. So tell people
Yeah,
kind of like how your business model runs with eBay. Tell people how you do your sourcing, how you do your listing, how you do your shipping. Like I know because we only have like 30 minutes today for the
yeah,
video,
yeah,
so maybe like a condensed version and tell people because I sell a lot of media items, but you sell a lot of like electronics and broken electronics. Sometimes people walk by an electronic and they're saying, "Oh, well, this part doesn't work, so I'm throwing in
yeah.
the garbage." But believe it or not, people do buy broken electronics and stuff like that on eBay, right?
Yeah, yeah, for sure. So, long story short, I buy at the flea markets. I made connections from people that buy from Goodwill and recycling places, and they just get a ton of electronics, and I buy from them directly now. And I still go to flea markets and find one-offs, or find one-offs on Facebook. But for the most part, 80% of my store is smaller electronics that fit in your hand, and like 20% of it is bigger electronics like receivers, DVD players. I just posted up a 3D printer, subwoofers, stuff like that. But it's mainly electronics. But if I come across something at the flea market that's pretty valuable, that's not an electronic, I'll still get it. I'm not gonna, just stick to straight electronics. Like, oh, whatever makes money too.
Yeah,
But
and so go
yeah,
ahead.
if you guys want to know more, like on how I do it specifically or whatever, like I said, if you could put my YouTube down below, then they'll see more because I have a bunch of videos now.
Yeah, it's already linked down below. Last time
Hell
I
yeah,
had you on, you were like 800, 900 subscribers or
dude!
something. I think you're like
I was at
2,000
400.
now.
I was at
Well, hey,
400. Yeah,
and you know what? Right after you're on my channel, like within a week of you being on my channel, you hit like 1,000 within a week, bro. So I kept telling you that if you just
yeah,
put a little bit of spit shine into it and just hustle a little bit, your
yeah,
channel is going to take off. All you got to do is put a little bit of effort into it. Maybe drop 2, 3 videos a week, and because I could see, man, some good because I see a lot of myself in you because I'm an old guy. You could see I got a gray hair and gray beard and everything. But when I was about 20 years younger, I see a lot of myself in you, and I'm like, man, this guy, you got so much potential if you just kind of focus your
No,
energy
yeah.
and
No, yeah, for
focus.
sure.
So, hey, man, so you do source a lot at flea markets. If you guys don't know, he has a big warehouse and you have everything. You guys have to check out his video because he has a lot of these stuff in like little bins. So as soon as the item sells, it might say BB27 or whatever, and he knows right what bin it is to pull the item. He pulls
Yeah.
the item, bags it, puts it in an envelope, and then ship it out. And so tell people kind of like what is like your key as far as like growing and scaling your business, because you didn't like have like a rich uncle that passed away and left you an inheritance. Like, how much money did you start out with your eBay business?
When Corona hit, I had about $5,000, and I already had the eBay idea in my mind, and my dad was doing it, and he was telling me to just say screw it and start it up. Had about $5,000, and just started with that, buying stuff off Facebook because everything was closed when Corona started. So I started with $5,000, and it just kept rolling over and over. I just keep reinvesting. Yeah.
All right. Now, tell me, how did your mind shift change? Because that's like one of the biggest things that I tell people on my channel is everything starts right here in your mindset. So how did your mindset change from being an employee, from someone who maybe was, thinking about living paycheck to paycheck? Maybe someone is an assistant manager at Taco Bell or a pizza delivery driver or something.
Yeah.
So how did your mindset change from saying, okay, I'm a broke college student, I'm living paycheck to paycheck, I have a job just over broke. How did you change your mindset from thinking, okay, I'm going to work 40 hours a week at some company and I'm going to get a paycheck every week, to saying,
Yeah.
okay, I'm self-employed now and I'm only going to, make money on commission when I make sales? Like, how did that transition happen for you?
Since I was younger, I always knew it. It's just I wanted that experience of having a job. When I was in school learning for what I did, I'd tell one of my best friends, I still my best friend, I'd literally tell him, like, I'm gonna do this for 3 years and I'm gonna start something. Like, I'll do this for 2-3 years, I'm gonna start something. And the stuff I say now that I'm gonna do, it's already in my mind. Like that was already in my mind before I even started working. So when I was in high school, I was talking about that I was gonna do this, and whatever I tell my friends and parents now that I'm gonna do in 10 years, like, if you believe it, I feel like you can do it. So I mean, I'm not going to say what I'm going to be doing, but I have a good idea of where I'm going to want to go and what I want. So yeah, I've
All
always
right, so
thought
good.
like that.
Let's get into that. So you recently fired your employees. You have 13,000 items on your eBay store. What is 2 or 3 goals that you have for yourself in the future? Like, what is it that you want to do with your business, with your YouTube channel? Like, if I came to you and tapped you on the shoulder in 3 years from now or 5 years from now, where is it that you would like to be, and what is it that you would like to do? Because I can tell you're like a real goal-oriented type of person.
Yeah. First and foremost, I feel like if I stay with the YouTube, I want to get to 100,000 subscribers. I want to get to 10,000 by the end of the year. eBay wise, I want to consistently be making anywhere from 500 to 700,000 a year, and just reinvest that into real estate, and probably start other businesses within 5 years. And yeah, I feel like those two things, YouTube and eBay, are gonna open up a lot of doors for other things. Use eBay and YouTube as a stepping stone to other things.
Hey, it's funny, man. I tell people all the time that even if I didn't get a check from YouTube, I would still do it, because you'd be surprised of how many new doors and opportunities open up. Because think about someone like Gary Vee or Grant Cardone or something like that. They don't need ad revenue from YouTube. Why do you think they're on YouTube? They have so many new people that they would never get to meet otherwise. Like, I'm in Tampa, you're in California. So the chances of us running into each other at an airport or a gas station or grocery store is like slim to nil. But since we both have a YouTube channel and we both are online and on Instagram and YouTube, we can link up and talk about things. So, I was laughing when you said 100,000 subscribers, because hopefully one day I want to be there too. I'm going to give you one of those silver play buttons as well.
Yeah.
It may not be today. It may not be tomorrow. It may be in 10 years from now when I'm, when I'm 50 years old. But one day we're going to get there. As long as you don't quit. It's one of those things where it's a marathon, not a sprint, right? So tell me, man, I want to dig into more of this eBay stuff, because, I just moved about a month ago, and before about a month ago, my goal was to get 10,000 active listings. I hit about 8,000, and then I moved. So I had to kind of start my eBay store from zero again, and I just hit 800 yesterday. So I'm trying to list. So how many items do you list consistently in your eBay store? And let's talk about promoted listings. Do you love them, hate them? What do you think about it?
They're good. I do 8% on all mine, 8 to 10%. They're fine. I'm trying to steer away from the volume and just sheer 15,000, 20,000 items. I could have been at 20,000 months ago. What I'm trying to focus more on is maybe getting 50 items, but more like $60, $70, $80, $100, or maybe even just 30 items, but they're all 150, 200, stuff like that. And then obviously still keep getting the 20s, the 30s, the 10s. But that's really more what I'm trying to focus on. And
Yeah.
30, 40 items like that, I can list myself and all the money is mine. And I don't have to get help when I used to do like 180 a day at one point of just tinier items, but 40 items at that kind of average sale price is just literally the same amount of money, and I can do all the work myself and just pocket all that money that I was sharing.
Yeah,
So that's what
see,
kind
now
of what
you're
I'm trying
thinking
to do.
like me. Now we think the same, because if I was in your situation and I had a warehouse, first thing I would do is sit down and say, okay, where can I reduce my expenses and where can I increase my income? And now when
Yeah,
you're talking about how you want to grow your average sell price on eBay and increase your average sell price and then reducing your staff, your overhead, that's what you're
yeah,
doing. You're reducing your overhead expenses and you're trying to increase your income. And now that extra money that you were paying for your staff and your employees, you have this
better.
extra capital that you could reinvest back in your business, or you could take that extra money in the future, maybe put it as a down payment for a house or an investment property. When
Yeah,
I
for
was your
sure.
age, man, I'll tell you it's a real secret. It doesn't have nothing to do with eBay, but when I was your age, I used my FHA loan and I bought a 4-unit apartment complex, right? Because
Oh,
the
really?
rent was high. Yeah. And so I bought this 4-unit apartment complex. I put my 3.5% down. So I think I had
Uh-huh.
to pay like $6,000-7,000 at closing, and I lived in one of the units because there was 2 units on the first floor,
Uh-huh.
2 on the second floor. I lived in one of the units on the second floor, and I took the rent money from the other 3 apartments and used that to pay the mortgage every month.
Hell
So I
yeah.
essentially would live there for free. So that way,
Yeah.
that way I didn't have to pay rent every month. And then what I did after that, after a little bit, is the washer and dryer hookups were in the basement, and I moved them up into the closet in their units. So then what happened was I moved, I rented out this other unit I was staying in on the second floor, and I moved and stayed in the basement. So then the
Hell
basement
yeah.
is the length, the size of the whole apartment complex. So now I
Yeah.
have 4 units rented out that's generating positive cash flow. Back in the day, the rents isn't as high as they were now. I think they were rented out at like 525 or 550 a month. And then when a
Oh, yeah.
tenant would move out and when their lease would expire, then I would slowly increase the rent by 25 or $50 a month. And then I had positive cash flow coming in every month and my mortgage
Yeah.
was paid. And then we'd use that to pay the water and the electric and utilities and the dumpster round back and all
Yeah.
that. So that could be a way that, that you could do that, as far as if you took some capital and invested it beside just depending on that one stream of income. Because something happens, you get suspended or something on eBay or something
Oh,
like that
yeah.
happens, you still got to eat. But anyway, so tell me, what would be some of your strategies if I came to you? Let's say I just ran into you on the street. Let's say I was a pizza delivery guy and I'm making minimum wage and I'm working a dead end job and I want to be like you one day. I want to grow my eBay store. I'll have 13,000, 15,000 items. And what would you say that you net out of that after your eBay fees, your cost of goods and all that, shipping? What do you think you net out of your 25,000 a month gross sales? What do you think after all your expenses that you probably net and bring home?
Well, the changes I recently made are literally changes I made like 2 or 3 weeks ago. So it's hard to tell right now, but they're pretty high. Like right now, I'm still listing items that I posted a while ago. So it's just really just the eBay
Well,
fees and what I paid for the item.
well, that's what I'm
Um,
saying. Would you say 50%, 75%, 60?
Probably
What do you
50,
think?
probably 50 at least.
I was
Yeah,
thinking 50, at least 50,
yeah,
because
just
you have
because
to
the
take out
warehouse.
your
Yeah,
right. You have your overhead expenses. Like, and do you mind telling our audience how much you pay for your warehouse, or do you not want to tell people? I'm just
I'd
curious.
rather not say because it's pretty cheap and maybe like the neighbors here they know about my YouTube. I don't know. I don't want to stir things up.
All right. Well, then we don't.
Yeah,
We'll keep it secret. We won't tell
it's
nobody.
pretty cheap though for California. It's not that bad.
Well, I was gonna say I was gonna say in California, but it's everywhere. If you're breathing oxygen and
Oh
you're
yeah.
in the United States, cost of living is going up. So you got to give me your top 3 tips or piece of advice. I was gonna name this video like Secrets of an eBay Power Seller. That's what I was going to name it. But that's what I was thinking about naming the video. And I was like, no, people don't even know what a power seller is anymore. We're just going to talk about how David makes $25,000 a month in gross sales on eBay. So tell me your top 3 tips or piece of advice that you have to help someone grow and scale their eBay business. So maybe they can be in a similar situation where you're at now.
I wouldn't really focus, like I said, on the numbers or 13,000 items or, or 25,000. If you can make 15,000 and you're profiting more and you're working less and it's less of a headache, honestly, that's probably better. And if you can do it out of your garage, you can squeeze out 15K out of your garage easy with no overhead, and you can deduct in your taxes the garage space. Honestly, you could do that. Right now, 25, it sounds cool and all, but with the overhead I have, it's pretty much the same as that. So I'm not mad at the 25. I can't complain, but I need to be more at 45 with what I got going on. So that's why I've been working towards back up to that. But it's really just discipline more than anything, and going consistently to get good product, and just putting in the work. So there's no shortcuts to this thing and to anything really. Like you got to put the work in.
Yeah, for sure, man. Easy. So what do you think about, burnout is like a real thing. And so sometimes you're motivated and sometimes you're not. Sometimes you could be motivated and say, okay, I listed 100 items on eBay on Monday, and then the rest of the week you're just putting up goose eggs. So what gets you, you have a routine? What keeps you kind of in the zone and keeps you motivated to get these items listed? Because you don't have a staff now. So if the items don't get listed, they're not going to sell. And so it kind of, what do they say? The buck stops kind of with you. So what do you have, like a accountability board, or what do you do to kind of keep yourself on focus and on track?
I'd say I'm pretty extremely disciplined when it comes to most things, but I can fall off of the discipline really easy. But when I'm on it, I'm on it, and if I'm off the wheel, I'm off the wheel. But for the most part, I'm pretty disciplined. But I give myself breaks. Since we do eBay, we can mess around with our schedules. I'm actually recording right now a video of kind of like what my schedule is like. Hit the gym in the morning. I do cardio. I come here, work 3-4 hours. I go back and lift weights, and then I eat, and then I come back and post items, and then I'm done. So I give myself good breaks, and I don't focus, okay, I'm going to list as many as I can today. I'll just give myself a number so I don't burn out every day. And Monday through Friday, it's listing, shipping. Saturday, Sunday, it's cleaning, organizing. Sunday, it's more chill. I might ship a few items. So you can't go balls to the wall every single day. You got to know kind of what your limits are and go from there, and give yourself like a schedule of like, okay, today 20 items every day instead of 60 on Monday, and you don't do nothing the rest of the week because you burnt out. So yeah,
sure. Because I mean, it's the same way, dude. Just like you were talking about, you going to the gym. I can tell you've been hitting the weights just by looking at you. But I mean, it's kind of the same thing. It's like the same discipline you use to get up to go to the gym when you're having days where you're not motivated and you're not feeling it. It's the same lever. It's the same discipline that you have for your eBay business, where it's like, okay, dude, if I don't go out and hunt and get these items listed, I'm not going to eat. You have to have that type of mentality and kind of bet on yourself mentality type of thing. So I want to talk about promoted listings real quickly. Previously, I was at 1%, and eBay changed the thing, I think back in July. And it's now, if you want to do the minimum, it's at 2%. So then at 2% for I don't know, a couple of weeks, then I'm up at 5% now, and I'm debating on raising it up to 10%, because it's nice to say that you have 5,000 or 10,000 items listed in your eBay store. But if the items are just sitting there collecting dust, the items that are in your eBay store are just potential profit. I can't go to the grocery store and say, hey, I have 10,000 items on eBay that should buy my groceries.
Yeah.
You need to be able to transfer that potential profit and turn it into generating sales. So talk a little bit about your mindset as far as, hey, it's good to go ahead and pay the promoted listing fees, because you don't have to pay the promoted listings unless the item actually sells. Because I'm at 5%. Yeah. I'm thinking about jumping up to 10%. What say you? What's your mindset about it?
I'm 8 to 10%. I just see it as just a little. It's like when you give them a little discount. If it sells, and that's good. I'd rather keep the product moving. I don't get attached to the products. When you have 13,000, you can't. So I just try to keep the product moving. If I could sell everything right now for a 50% discount cash, I'd do it right now. Or even 40. I'll do 60% off right now cash. Get that and start over again. I want this moving. I want this rotating as quick as possible. So the 8% doesn't bother me. So
Well,
yeah, I
that's
think
the
it's
thing.
good.
Is kind of like I was thinking about it in my mind. It's like, okay, Duff, so you're willing to send out offers to watchers and give them 10, 11%, but you're not willing to sell the item for full asking price and pay eBay 10%. Like, it's really kind of the same thing at a certain extent, right? Because it's like,
Yeah,
if you're watching one of my items on eBay, and let's say I have the item listed for $10, let's say, or $20, and I send you an offer for $18. Well, that's 10% off to try to get your attention to generate that sale when you could just give eBay the 10% promoted listing fees and then make the sell and pay your
yeah,
full asking price
yeah.
and
So
then just
like the
pay the
same thing.
extra fee to eBay, right? I mean, it's kind of the same thing, except you're generating more sales instead of just hoping and wishing and praying that the sales come, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So I'd say just do it, but it all depends on how much you're getting. If you're paying $3 for an item and you're trying to get 8, you should probably watch your percentage on the promoted listing. But if you got more leeway, it just depends on that too. If you got $80 items, like it's not that, and you're paying 10, like do a promoted listing. I suggest that, but it just depends.
It's kind of, dude, it's kind of a no-brainer. So it's like if I came to you and I said, "Hey, David, I'm going to sell you." Let's just say hypothetically, this is a rare remote. And I said, "Hey, I want to sell this rare remote on eBay for $100," and all I had to do is pay you $10 out of this $100 of this remote that I'm selling. You do that
Yeah.
every single day of the week, wouldn't you? Like,
No, hell
why
yeah.
would you not do that? If I came to you and
Yep.
said, "Hey, I'm going to sell this remote on eBay for $100," let's say, and all I have to do is pay you $10 out of the 100, and you're going to bring me a sale. Like, to me, it's like, and the thing is that if it doesn't convert, if the promoted listing doesn't convert into sell, then you're not out any money. You only have to pay the promoted fee when it actually converts to a sell. You're going to have a whole lot of organic sales as well. And I think sometimes the promoted sales kind of trigger the algorithm for you to get organic sales as well. What do you think about that?
I think it's just is what it is, and it's not that deep to me. Like I don't think of promoted listings every day. I think of just listing more items and getting more items.
Okay. Now,
I think yeah, it's not
okay, good.
it's not
Let's
like
talk
a
about you getting more
deal
items to
breaker.
list on eBay. How much money do you possibly reinvest back in your business in months? So let's say hypothetically you made 25,000 this month in sales. Let's say you netted 50% of that, so that'd be what, 12, $13,000 for the month, somewhere around there. Even if you did 30,000 that month in sales, and half of that would be 15,000, that'd still be like $500 a day in profit. That's better than working at the 7-Eleven or something, right? So,
Yeah,
how much of that capital do you take and reinvest back in your business to grow and scale your business? How much of that money do you pay yourself? And then, do you still have a VA? Do you have any other things going on? Because you said you fired your employees, but I feel like you're leaving some stuff out. You got to tell us the whole story, Dave.
no, I just like on Monday, I stopped using my VA, like barely Monday, and I was gonna make a video about that, but I'm kind of experimenting to see what I can do on my own. But what was your other question?
Yeah, I
Um,
wanted to talk about how much capital do you
oh
reinvest
yeah,
back in your business to buy more inventory?
so in the last 3 4 months, I've only spent like $3,000. So it's just been
Yeah.
old inventory selling that I already invested in. Sometimes I'll spend 10,000. I won't have to spend a dime for 6 months because there's so much product. It just depends, you know. And when you have so many items listed already, you could just post 30, 40 a day, and you sell 30, 40 a day, and just keeps coming in, you know. So it just depends when I get good deals and when I don't. But I don't invest like that much money. It's really where it adds up is like liability insurance for here, my rent at my house, my rent here, all that stuff. That's where it kind of adds up to be the 50%. But I'm not dropping 10 bands a month on inventory. That'd be a little too high. But sometimes I spend five, sometimes 1,000, sometimes 10,000. Stuff like
Well,
that.
how to the business? How much money would you say you pay yourself every month, and how much of it do you set aside for to reinvest back in your business and to buy more inventory and to pay for a warehouse and all that stuff?
I just pay. I don't really see it as paying myself. I just if I need the money to pay rent and eat and do a few things, I'll use money out of there. And if like I need to reinvest, I need to reinvest. But I don't have really like a whole structure, which I need to. But that's how I've been doing it. So, yeah.
Okay. All right. Now let's talk real quickly because I'm trying to keep this video around 30 minutes. We might go a few minutes over, but tell me, like, again, I need like your maybe your best 2 or 3 tips or piece of advice. And real quickly before we get into that, I want to talk about when you go sourcing, what is it that you're looking at the most? Like, what kind of return on investment are you looking at? Are you looking for something like this that you can pay 50 cents for and sell for 10, 15, 20 bucks? Like, what type of return on investment are you looking at for the items that you're selling? Like, how much are you paying for the items, and how much are you probably selling the items for? Like, are you looking for a 5x, 10x? Like, how much margin are you trying to have built into your sales?
Well, I pretty much buy the same stuff over and over again off the same people. So I'm not looking at it from like one item to one item sale. It's more like, okay, 3,000 items, 1,000 items, pay, I don't know, usually like a 6x, I say, on average. Just overall, on some it's 10x, on some it's you just double up, but for the most part, it's like 6x.
Okay, now you talked briefly about building up relationships with people because you said you kind of have built relationships with people and you just meet up with the same people at the flea market, or the same people will probably call you up first when they have a bunch of inventory that they want to offload. And so when you're able to buy stuff in bulk, instead of just going to a thrift store or, a yard sale and you're getting 2, 3, 4, 5 items, you're saying, hey, I could spend, 10 grand and I have enough inventory to last me for 6 months. So you don't have to go out sourcing every day. So talk about that, how important it is to build up relationships and how it's like the key for you, because you only have 24 hours in a day. So it's kind of key for you to be able to buy stuff, in bulk, right?
Yeah. So, like I said, there's only 24 hours. And I feel like with eBay, you're only as good as the items that you get as well. Like you could be working extremely hard, 10 hours a day, but you have cheaper items, and there's another guy that's slacking off, waking up later, or clocks in at midnight and gets up 10 items that are just like 1,000 each. That they're out there. Like I've come across those kind of items. It just depends what kind of model you want to go for, but I don't know if I answered your question properly there, but what was it again? I'm sorry.
Just okay. So we're trying to wrap this video up here shortly. So give us your top 3 tips or piece of advice.
Top 3.
If someone's a newbie or someone wants to scale their business, you got to give me at least 3 tips, because the people are tuning in to check you out. You want to scale and grow your YouTube channel, to 100,000 subscribers. Give us some knowledge. Give us some information. Your top 3 tips or piece of advice to help you grow and scale your business from $0 to $25,000 a month in sales.
Okay. eBay is not difficult. It's not demanding physically, really. All it is you got to be disciplined. So if you're not going to be disciplined, if you're not disciplined in other areas in your life, you probably should stay away from this, because this is all you. You don't have a job to wake up to where you have to be there at 7 a.m. It's all on you. And if you can't hold yourself accountable, it's not going to work. I'm not going to be like there's no secrets really. So that's one tip. If you're not, you got to be disciplined. You got to be doing it for a bigger thing than just money. Me personally, I want to lift up all my friends. I've taught like 8 people how to do it, or not taught myself, but I'm around like 8 people that do it. I want to help my family. I want to give my kids a good life. I'm not doing it just for me anymore. I don't even have a girlfriend, but you know what I mean? Can't just do it just for money. Another tip is like watch a lot of videos, learn from other people who are doing it. I can't give you everything in this last tip, but I learned a lot from like Daily Refinement, Tech and Sports, and I learned a lot from people that do other businesses on their mindset to never blame it on anyone else. It's all on you. So I'd say read books, but there's people that read 40 books a year and they don't apply a single thing in the books. It's just really about action and getting stuff done at the end of the day with this or anything you're going to do. So, yeah.
Well, you heard him. He's single. So if you guys or girls are in California,
Girls.
blow up and see him, hit him up. Say, hey, I saw you on eBay Addicts YouTube channel. I heard you were single. How you doing? What you doing this weekend? Go ahead and blow his inbox up. Hey, I just want to give a shout out to everybody in the chat. I wanted to give a shout out to Urban Frost Liquor. I think that's how you say it. So, Sicker from Australia. And I want to give a shout out to my brother here, the Bearded Veteran. He said, live below your means.
Yeah.
So tell everybody where they can check you out at on YouTube and Instagram. So they can go by and follow you and check you out.
Yeah, so Paleo Da1 on Instagram, and then Paleo Tech on YouTube. Yes, on those two.
All right. Now, do you have any final thoughts or words of wisdom that you can leave our audience with?
Yeah, just try to get a schedule and stick to it and be disciplined and get rid of people that are holding you back. That's a big one too.
Yeah, well, I think some
control your circle a little better. Yeah.
I think a lot of it is just your mindset, bro. If you have that mindset of, punching a time clock and thinking I'm going to work 40 hours and 40 hours is going to show up on my paycheck. Whereas with eBay, you can, like you said, you can work 10 hours a day and if you don't make any sales, you made zero. So it's just a different mindset of being self-employed versus having an employee mindset. So anyways, guys, go ahead and follow our guest, David Paleo. I can't ever pronounce his last name correctly. All the links are going to be down below to follow him on YouTube and Instagram. You'll see me. I'm usually in the comments section there, cheering him on. So you see me there. I'm usually, one of the first people there, leaving comments, showing love and support to the community. So go ahead and follow our guest and check him out. He's going to be doing big things. And I'm telling you, man, your future, bro, the next 3, 4, 5 years is bright. As long as you stay on the straight and narrow and stay out of trouble, bro.
Yeah,
you're gonna be doing great. Yeah. So if I was there in California, I'd be coming over there and hanging out with you and picking your brain and bothering you. But since I'm in Florida, I have to do it virtually. So anyways, go ahead and follow our guests. I will see you guys next week. I have been shooting a lot of videos this past week because of the hurricane. So now the hurricane's passed. So I got some more videos. How far are you from it? I'm in Tampa, and it hit about 2 hours south in Fort Myers. So I made it out of there in one piece. But anyways, guys, go ahead and follow our guests. I will see you guys in the next video. I have some more videos that I'm dropping this weekend. But if you want to learn more from David, he shows you where he does his sourcing, how he pulls his orders, how he does his shipping. All the information is going to be on his YouTube channel. Go check him out. Follow him on YouTube and Instagram, and I will catch you guys in the next video. Till next time, we'll see you guys later. You guys have a great weekend. Bye, guys.